Okay, Capricorn, here's the energy for the season, this week, wherever it fits you, use it. Spirituality, yeah, I'm just going to get into it here. The first card we have from the Gaia deck for the Capricorns, man, these readings are all over. They're huge energy drops that I'm getting from these. So I'm just trying to take a breath. Okay, here we go. First card, we have the Five of Earth. Okay, so this is about devil's influence, really, is what I get here. We are playing with someone's emotions or somebody in a way that is devious and whatnot. Not of the highest truth, is what I'm saying. Next card, let's move on from that. You're either in that energy or being manipulated by it, so you'll know which one you are. Ace of, I think this is the Ace of Fire. Give me a minute here. Is that a heart in the middle? Yeah, it is. Somewhat a trinity into a heart. I'm just getting a birthing of new energy. We may have been in trickster energy here, chaos maker, manipulating people to get what we want from them, just not of, proper energy here. In the sense that I get from this dragon here is a birthing of a new energy field. There's new energy that wants to come forth for us to utilize. Okay, next. King of Fire. Oh, that's not fire, that's air. Sorry, that was the Ace of Air. King of Fire. Here we go. So the King of Fire, I mean, there's a lion here. Though the lion is not roaring, he's very quiet. So there's a quiet calm before a storm here that's waiting to happen. Now it's interesting, we have earth, air, and fire. These three things mingled together is what creates fire. Like if we have earth, like the twigs, right, branches, we combine that with the air, and the heat makes the flame. One element's missing, we can't create that combustion, right? So they're going, this may be significant in somebody's life here. There's something missing. We can't create what we need to create from it, but we got to watch our old habits. Okay, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to keep it simple here. Capricorn, next, on top of the energy of the Five of Earth, really about deviousness, taking from others to gain for ourselves. What do we get there? To expand from the above card, we get regenerate and sleep. Crone of Earth. The sense they're giving me is in our right mind? No, we aren't. We may not be getting enough rest. We may not be seeing things properly. We may not be utilizing things properly. If we're taking from others in order to gain, is that being freely given, or are we really taking it in a forceful manner? This kind of thing. We need to relax and slow down and let things, like the snow falling on this woman, and her gray hair symbolizes the wisdom that she holds. Being through, she, yeah, it's not all about things coming in quickly and, leaving quickly, this kind of stuff. Because that devil energy is kind of like grab it and run. We don't have time to enjoy things because we're constantly running here and there and chaotic. I'm getting a field here of chaotic energy. We need to regenerate our resources. Because it's like we're so caught up in a circle of fear. And, yeah, I'll just leave it at fear, because that's really what it's about when we're dealing with the darker side. It's about, I'm going to keep you in fear until you run around and do what I want to do. And then when you stop doing it, I'm going to kick you again and put more fear so that you try harder. But if we don't gain rest and realize, wait a minute, what are you telling me to do here? And what do I want to do? No, I don't want to do this. And am I gaining anything? No, I haven't gained anything. So what am I doing? That's the thing. It's like a realization that we're not getting anywhere here, but we're not slowing down you know, long enough to see that. So there it is. New energy. On top of the new energy here, the Ace of Air wants to come forth. The card we get there is the Elemental of Air. Look at them stick to the pattern here. You got two earth elements. The Crone of Earth on top of the Five of Earth. And then we got the Ace of Air on top of the Ace of Air. Fresh insight. Yes, ma'am. That's what we're talking about. That was what I was getting energetically, is there's a blooming here of lightness of being. Again, you know, very highly connected. You may have Sagittarius with Capricorn, Capricorn with Sagittarius in your chart. Very highly resonating. These two are very closely knit energetically. We are wanting to be exposed of new ways of doing things. Universe is tapping in here. We're being distracted by the darkness, really, is the sense I'm getting. And because of this, this is what's wearing us down and not giving us a sense of what we need to truly do here intrinsically, where we need to go and how we need to deal. We aren't getting our rest, bottom line. They're wearing us down. And they're winning because we're not seeing what we need to see here in order to move forward properly. We're just accepting things that are coming in and not realizing that we're not getting a payoff from it. So there's new fresh energy that wants to, you know, arrive here in your spiritual center. This is what's going on. So now, the King of Fire, now he's a king, right? He's going to go forward. He's a lion. He ain't stupid. And people listen. You know, this is all about energy that we hold within ourselves going outward instead of the past energy of what's coming at us. We're just reacting what's coming at us. Now, you know, there's an energy here of an independence. Crone of Water we get. Cherished memories. Give me a minute. So there's an energy here of, again, the lion is not roaring. It's not going after, it's not going outward like normally the king would. He is very secure in where he's at. He's got a lot of things to speak of here. But I feel like it's slowly dwindling away. Yeah, it's really the dark and light battle is coming to bear here in these readings this month. Okay. So the Crone of Water, she's holding the element of water. She's holding her emotions. And they're going, it's bottled, but it's not corked. We can sip from this, or we can guzzle from this. We can do whatever we choose we want to do. King of Fire, he knows what he wants. But I feel like, in the way that, I feel like the King of Fire is thirsty. But I feel like he refuses to drink from what really could sustain here. That bottle is what could sustain him. He refuses to drink from it. Let's see why here. Okay, as we move into the energy, and I do feel like this is an energy of a past, like we're trying, the universe trying to get us to evolve past taking from others just for purely selfish reasons. On top of that, we get from the geometry deck the Taurus field. What would you know? The Taurus field, I'm starting, as the more I use this card, the more I realize it's about the heart flow. And that's where they're trying to get you into, is your heart. The Taurus field is about revolution and refreshment. Again, there's a refreshing of energy that wants to come, a new energy. Not old, refiltered shit. We've been there. We've done that. We've got our tickets. And the tickets are worthless. What do we get with these tickets? They're just tickets. We can't use them anywhere. The universe wants to introduce you to a new energy of light where we get currency back. But it's not in the way of money. It's not in the way of things. It's not in the way of monetarily. It's in the way of spiritual advancement. You get foresight, you get instinct, and these are all things that are hidden from those of dark. You cannot be in a place where you are of darkness and you can foretell the future. That's you are short-sighted. And I feel very much this energy, the Capricorn, is very short-sighted because they're following the leader here in the dark. Okay? Now, this may not be for very long. This may be a transition they're working themselves out of, but the Taurus field is an introduction to a refreshing energy field. That's your chakras all working in the correct manner, and that's your heart working in a powerful way, listening to that. I feel like that's a key of getting out of where we're at. And you know, one, the rest. They're going simply this, rest, and our brain will work better, and we will see things clear. We are just so dragged out, drawn out, depressed. You know, all of this stuff is just pulled from us being in a field that is doing this deliberately, but we're not aware because we don't have enough rest. We don't have enough da-da-da. Once we get our rest, we open the heart center, and all of these chakras start working off each other and changing the frequency. And then we start to make progress. Now, this new field, again, this is kind of what I'm talking about, this heart center opening. We really are following the leader here. I feel like we're just taking direction based on fear alone. And each thing that we come out with is a slap in the face. And they're going, well, how many times we got to get slapped in the face before we realize that we just don't go there? This is what the Capricorn's coming across. Again, Sag energy is very closely related. On top of the fresh insight that wants to come forward here, the new fresh air, we get yellow and brown. And this is interesting because brown is your Capricorn, your field, where you are, the core center of you. You're not going to lose your core. You're not going to lose the sense of who you are if you jump on this new path. If you open up to this new energy, you're not going to lose that. The yellow is, in fact, that you will be carrying more joy. You will have a better sense of identity, and your ego will be balanced and not overshot. We may be following our ego here quite highly, and that is what is pulling us down. Maybe not realizing this. Next line. Okay, the King of Fire. Again, there's an energy here. It could be an element of someone else that we're dealing with in our field, but the sense that I'm getting, it could be both, is that we want to become the King of Fire. We want to be more action-oriented. We want to go out and grab things and get things done. That may be where we were, but again, we're coming from a darker energy in that way. Now we want to come from a sense of sharing and not being selfish, not being greedy, not being wanting to keep things to ourselves. Again, the clarification card that we have on top of here is the Crone of Water. Okay, first I got to deal with the fact that she's sitting there with all her emotions intact. And the sense is we're not going to take a drink. Like a stubborn energy. Is this our ego, or is this our pride, or is this, what is this that's stopping us from diving into our emotional center? I'll just put it at that. That's something you can explore yourself. Now, the words they attune to this is cherished memories. There may be something of the past that we have here that may be either blocking us from going forward, or something we just don't want to tap into. We're tapping into the memories, but we're not, there's something here we're not getting. Okay, on top of that, what do we get? Yeah, orange and blue. Orange talks to freedom of an expression and enthusiasm. Blue speaks to loyalty, depth, and intelligence. Give me a moment here. I feel like these are all the things that are stripped from us. I feel we have no sense of freedom in our life. We have no sense that we can express with enthusiasm anything that we want. That's a sure sign that you're on the dark side. And then loyalty, we have no loyalty to anyone either, and we may be realizing that nobody has loyalty to us as well. Depth, well, that's just not there. Intelligence, this is what we're starting to come through. I feel like our intellectual field is starting to say, wait a minute, are we? But again, you know, that dark center is so highly ingrained here that it is keeping us at a depletion, because they know that the brain cells do not function properly when we are in fear, stress, anxiety, depression. So let's get them in depressed, fearful, create anxiety, and be a chaos maker. And because of this, we will keep them where we want them. And Capricorn, you're where they want you. So if you want your freedom, you got to break free from that. And the first way to do that is to realize that you have a heart center, and that it can speak to you and say things to you, and you can follow that leader and see what happens, because that is the breath of fresh air that you need. Come from your heart and not from your capacity to hold things in. Okay. Express things outward. So on top of the Taurus field, as we close up this session, here's a frustrating energy of the Sag and Capricorn, highly intertwined here. On top of the Taurus field, again, the opening of the heart center. Once we open that, everything flows in a different frequency, because we are blocking. That Taurus field is stopped. They're showing it just stopped. There is no inflow. We're trying to create inflow, but we're going to have karmic repercussions for taking from a field that does not give it back. That is the dark. This is how we know we're there. The dark. I don't know. I can't express it, but I feel like this person, if they're in this energy, they're going to know. We take, and what do we get? Zero. Nothing. So is that of a benefit to us? No. So this is kind of the illumination process. Again, taking the time to look at this. On top of the Taurus field, we get the 8 of Wands, and that's about bearing fruit. So maybe, just maybe, the Capricorn got a little bit of rest, freshened up their mind a bit, sunk into the heart, level 1 only, please. And they're seeing fruit coming forward. There's bearing fruit. Wands are coming in here. We're making success. Now, they are showing me money here. That is one way that they will communicate whether or not. Now, yeah, it's a hard line to toe here, because we could go on the dark side and make lots of money, but it may not be a good thing overall, so we got to be careful of that. Watch your morality. Next, again, that fresh air that wants to come forward quite highly, being guided, and the field opening up, all the forces are on, beaming at you, all this energy. Yellow, the joy that wants to come forth for you if you pick the right lane. And I think the sense here is we just don't deal with our instinct here. We're Earth. We are on grounded Earth, and all of this stuff don't make no sense. So we're just tugging at strings here. And there is an example of getting a high reward for doing something in a certain area. So, and then we go back out and we go in the dark again. It's like, no, we're not going to be rewarded there. So we got to keep picking that same lane. I feel like the yellow, again, is the joy that they want you to feel once you realize the area that can work for you. And the brown is just that earth sign is saying, man, my word, we are not going to lose our core of who we are. We can freshen up our field by going after things that we want. We can still go after things that we want in a more purified way. And we can still attain them in a purified way if they are of our highest good. There's a black and white here. There's no compromise. I go this way or I go that way. And they're going, well, we're going to try and show you what's the best way. But if you don't listen when you make the bad choices, that's on you. Okay, so anyway, on the yellow, why do we expand on that new energy that wants to come forth to create joy for you? We get the 2 of Cups. Now here in this deck, the 2 of Cups is about self-perception. Looking at the self and judging our own selves to see, am I in approval? Would I be in approval of this if I was someone else or whatever? Looking at ourselves through the mirror. Because she's putting up, it's interesting to me, on the one side she's got her hair up, on the other side it looks like it's somewhat down, and she's wearing like a schmuck, like, you know, she come out of the shower, and then on the other side, she's dressed up, ready to go, right? So trying to figure out where we're being an illusion or deluding ourselves about how we do and how we go forward. We may be telling, we may be treating people like crap and telling ourselves that that's the way it should be. And, we need to see this. We need to look at this. This is what. In order to see that, we need to look at ourselves properly with truth, right? Okay, so the next row, again, this new energy, the fire energy that's coming in here, I do feel a stubbornness to indulge in it. It's like we have the light side here. It's like, I don't want it. I don't want any. You're going to get things slowly taken away until you choose that direction and you have nothing left. So the freedom of expression, it's here. You have the freedom to choose. We're just not choosing. There's no loyalties. We have never been loyal to anyone. We're not going to start now, is the sense they're giving me. Then we're just not going to attain it outside of us. We can't be loyal to something or someone, especially ourselves. We're not going to, well, we're loyal. Yeah, we can be fiercely loyal to ourselves, but if we don't share that, we're not going to get it outward. And because of us taking, there's consequences for that. On top of that, we get the Four of Cups, talking about disappointment. Yeah, and we are not, man, I feel a sense of kind of shooting our own foot off here and not really realizing, oh, I got another one. Not really feeling any emotional, it's like we're emotionally void. There's cherished memories of our past when we were devious. This is fueling us to want to stay in this energy and go forward. But an unrealization that it was not to our benefit. There's just something there. There's an illusion there that we're seeing. The universe trying to introduce new, fresh energy. We just kind of don't want no part of it. And we're really in a stage where we're disappointed with what we got coming at us. But we're really not going to get any different until we work on ourselves and look at our perception. Because the Capricorn does not see in society how they affect others. They don't think about how they affect steamroller. And this is what is creating a life here where they're in disappointment. Wow, that's heavy. It's not good. Not good field. There's an energy here. The Taurus field here wants to revolve. It wants to refresh. It wants to bring in that energy. But if we refuse it, then this is what we're going to get. Disappointment and more of it and more heavy and more until we either decide to switch or, be rebooted. Okay. Moon in Scorpio is where we sit here. Moon is about emotions. This is the planetary card. Change in your emotional life. Transformation. The butterfly, it speaks to something that wants to transform. Do we want to? I don't feel it. I feel a high resistance. In fact, I'm not going to have any part of it. So this may be some energies, but universally that's not the plan. The plan is to transform this person and this energy into something more able to deal with their emotions more deeply, because Scorpio is always about going deep with everything. Yeah. There's a lot of disappointment here. There's a lot of frustration. We're going after what we want. We're being greedy and selfish. And we're wondering why we're not getting anywhere in that energy. And again, if we just sit and look at that and how that may affect others, we might figure it out. And the universe is quite fond that, yeah, they'll figure it out. They're figuring it out. But there's a stubbornness to stay, or at least butt our head in that area to convince ourselves that we're getting more from the darkness than we are from the light. And that's going to take a little while to work its way out. Because we're in an illusion that we get more over here when we really truly don't. We get no foresight. We get tower after tower. We get surprise and shock everywhere we turn. That is darkness. When you're in peace and serenity, tranquility, joy, comfort, things don't surprise you. You don't have things coming off the edge. All of a sudden, everything blows. It blows because there's something you're not taking into account here. I feel like I'm a mother going, look, you crashed the car again. You're going to have no more cars. This is what I'm getting. You know, like it's something wrong here. We're doing things repetitively, right? Insanity. Doing things repetitively, thinking it's going to be different with the same energy. It just, yeah, it's not going to work. So the universal energy wants you to take into account that there is a transformation wanting to happen. And the less we resist it, the better things will be, the smoother things will be, including our ego. Because if we fight too much here on the wrong way, our ego is going to be made an example of. Because this is what we're hanging on to so tightly. But if in the beginning, okay, give me an example. I got to think here. Say you're going down the wrong path. You made a wrong decision, okay? You're going in the car, and the wife says, turn left. I did this. I think I did this last time, and I think it was an earth one as well. But anyway, wife's going, oh, turn left here, and you're like, turn left. You know, not wanting to listen to it because the co-pilot, she's a co-pilot. She ain't driving. I'm driving. I'm going to decide where we go. So we look, and then we look at the road and go, if I turn left here, and we think, if I turn left here, oh yeah, that is the way. What was I doing? So if we just, at that moment, oh shit, I thought I was going to go this way. I'm wrong. I got to go this way. Then we turn that way and we get to our destination unencumbered. Like, you know, everything's great and wonderful. No big deal. But if, you know, the wife says turn left, you go, I'm not turning left. I'm going where I'm going. I'm driving. So then they take the long road, and they get caught up in traffic. And then they get, and you know, and then suddenly there's construction. We got to take another road that takes us even farther ahead. Do you see what I'm getting at? The ego is taking a higher hit farther down the road. If we hold our ego, then it's just going to keep creeping and making us look stupider and stupider, instead of right off the bat going, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, maybe I made a mistake. Let's go. It's not a big deal. Everything's forgiven. But if you hold that line, you know, through the traffic jam, through the construction, through the misturn, now we can't get back on the road we were on, and the wife's sitting there going, and you wanted to keep going straight. And there's so much more shit there to deal with than if it would have just been off our platter if we just right at the beginning go, oh yeah, I made a mistake. Are we infallible? No, we're not. So why create, I needed to say that. And I've learned that too in my life as well. With my son, you know, don't fight things if you know you're wrong. Usually the parent has the wisdom. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have a goofy idea, and the kid says it, and we don't want to admit that it's right. Because, well, it's the kid that said it, and I should know better, da-da-da. But if you just say, you know what, yeah, I should have known better, then all is forgiven. All of that dark stuff lifts, and it's gone. You don't have to deal with it no more. But this one's tugging the line. I'm not going to admit I'm not going to cave. And what do you get? Disappointment. Expect more of it if you don't change. Transformation's trying to happen. Universe, like, get in gear, man. This is what, sorry, I get frustrated by these energies. Okay. I think that's enough for today. Man, I want to say Taurus here, but maybe you're dealing with a Taurus, or maybe you're just like a Taurus, being stubborn. Capricorn, take it easy. Take care, have fun, and be kind.